There are lessons to be learned even from the most unlikely people, places, and situations. So today, we're going to make you an offer you can't refuse, a marketing strategy straight out of the Mafia's playbook. The American Mafia, also known as La Cosa Nostra, has been glamorized in pop culture through movies like The Godfather and TV shows like The Sopranos. But behind their Hollywood portrayal lies a dark reality of organized crime that spreads its tentacles throughout America. Today, we're going to uncover the shocking truth about the American Mafia's marketing strategy. Yeah, you heard it right. Even the Mafia had a marketing strategy. So stick around to the end, where we'll learn how you can use these criminally good marketing hacks to become the Don of your industry. Who are the Mafia? But before we dive into their tactics, let's take a look at how the Mafia worked. The Mafia was a secret society that operated through a strict, hierarchical structure. At the top was the boss, followed by the underboss, consigliere, capos who control various territories or families, soldiers, and associates. Each member had a specific role to play and had to adhere to a strict code of conduct, or else face severe punishment. The Mafia's rise to power can be tracked back to the Prohibition era of the 1920s and 30s, when they made their fortune through bootlegging and other illegal activities. Famous mob bosses like Al Capone and Lucky Luciano became household names and wielded immense power through their connections and reputation. But how did they get there? How did they go from being petty thugs to titans of the criminal world? 1. Branding. The Mafia has a unique branding strategy that sets them apart from other criminal organizations. They created a strong brand image by using the term Cosa Nostra, which means our thing in Italian. This phrase became synonymous with the Mafia and helped to distinguish them from other criminal organizations. By using a unique branding strategy, the Mafia was able to create a strong sense of identity and loyalty among its members. For example, John Gotti was a boss of the Gambino crime family, who used his personal brand to gain fame and notoriety. Gotti was known for his flashy style and flamboyant personality, which helped to build his personal brand and attract new members to the Gambino family. Gotti also used the media to his advantage, giving interviews and appearing on television shows to promote his image as a successful and powerful businessman. He even wrote a book, Shadow of My Father, to further promote his personal brand. 2. Learn to take a beating. As they work their way up through the Mafia hierarchy, it's inevitable that mob members are going to have to take a beating from time to time. Sometimes, literally. The strict codes in the Mafia meant that anyone who stepped out of line was punished. The punishments were there to teach everyone else about who was in charge and how things should be done. In marketing, you're also going to have to learn to take a beating from time to time. Hopefully they won't be as literal as the Mafia's beatings. But if you're taking risks and pushing yourself, there are going to be times that you mess up. Everyone makes mistakes. You've got to learn to deal with the consequences, dust yourself off, learn from your mistakes, and get back on it. 3. Reputation is everything. The real power of the Mafia came from its reputation. Get it right, and a name alone can be enough to strike fear into your competition. So how does a mob name have this power? It's about the actions that go along with it. If the Mafia wanted to get something done, nothing would have stopped them from their goal. To succeed in business, you have to back up your brand with the right action every time. Be who you say you are. It's no good promising the earth and then under-delivering, because your customers are going to see right through you, and you'll lose any credibility you ever had. Mafia families were clear about their principles, and you should be too. In marketing, your word is your bond, so stick to it. Your reputation is everything. 4. Keep it in the family. Not all Mafia families had blood relations, but one thing they all did is look after their own. The same rules should apply to your business. If you treat your people right, they're less likely to strike out on their own and steal your turf. If you've got a rising star in your business, do as the mob does and neutralize the threat. You don't have to do anything drastic, obviously, but recognizing marketing talents and rewarding them with a bigger share of the take is going to keep the best people more loyal in the long run. This keeps them invested in building your business instead of slacking off or seeking opportunities elsewhere. Take, for example, the notorious mob boss John Gotti. Gotti's nickname, the Teflon Don, was given to him because he always managed to escape conviction in court. But do you know how he earned the trust and loyalty of his crew? Gotti had a reputation for taking care of his people. He paid his soldiers well, gave them perks like fancy cars and expensive gifts, and showed loyalty to those who showed loyalty to him. He was also known to be a fair boss who didn't play favorites. These tactics kept his crew members loyal to him, and they remained dedicated to the Gambino crime family. 5. Have a man on the inside. The old saying goes, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. It makes sense to keep up to date on what your competition is doing, whether you're looking to stick up a bank, like the Mafia, or just bring a new product to market. The more you know about how your competition is operating, the better chance you have of being able to compete with them. It's not about undercutting your competitors either. The Mafia has always had rival factions, but the real bosses understood that keeping the peace so that everyone could have a share of the pie was what mattered. That's why the punishments were so harsh when someone stepped out of line. It puts everyone's profits in danger. In marketing, if you're smart and stay up to date with what your competitors are up to, you can make sure that you're differentiating yourself enough to stay ahead. 6. Harness the power of exclusivity. The American Mafia was notorious for creating a sense of exclusivity and prestige around their criminal activities. By keeping their inner workings secret and only allowing certain individuals into their inner circle, they were able to build a sense of mystery and allure around their organization. This exclusivity also made it more difficult for law enforcement to infiltrate and dismantle their operations. Similarly, in business, creating a sense of exclusivity can help you stand out from the competition and build a loyal customer base. This can be achieved through limited edition products or services, exclusive promotions for a select group of customers, or creating a VIP program with special perks and privileges. By creating a feeling of exclusivity and making customers feel like they are part of something special, you can build a strong following and increase customer loyalty. 7. Create a strong network. Mafia bosses knew the power of networking and created strong connections that helped them grow their business. The concept of omerta meant they had a code of silence where they would not talk about their operations outside the family. This ensured that everyone in the network was loyal and trustworthy. Similarly, in the world of marketing, having a strong network can help you to grow and thrive. By building relationships with like-minded people, you can share ideas, get advice, and collaborate on projects. Networking events, social media, and online forums are all great ways to start building your marketing network. 8. Using fear and intimidation. Perhaps the most notorious aspect of the American Mafia's marketing strategy was their use of fear and intimidation. The threat of violence and retribution was a powerful tool that the Mafia used to keep their enemies in line and maintain control over their territory. By using fear and intimidation, they were able to send a clear message to anyone who dared to cross them. While fear and intimidation are unacceptable and unethical tactics in the world of marketing, there are still ways to leverage the power of psychology to influence customers. For example, scarcity marketing, which creates a sense of urgency by implying that a product or service is in high demand or about to sell out, can be an effective way to motivate customers to take action. Similarly, using social proof to show that other customers are satisfied with your product or service can create a sense of trust and legitimacy that can influence others to follow suit. 9. Always be prepared. Mafia bosses knew that the key to success was to always be prepared for any eventuality. They would have contingency plans in place for every scenario, from a police raid to a rival gang attacking their operations. They were always one step ahead of their competition. In marketing, it's also essential to be prepared. You should have a clear marketing plan that outlines your goals, strategies, and objectives. You should also have a contingency plan in place in case of any unforeseen circumstances. This could include having a crisis management plan, a disaster recovery plan, and a continuity plan. Having plans B, C, and D in place can give your business an invaluable shock absorber if your initial marketing strategy doesn't pan out. We want to make it clear that we in no way condone or support the illegal activities of the American Mafia. We acknowledge the harm they caused to society and the countless innocent lives that were affected by their criminal activities. While the tactics used by the American Mafia are not to be condoned or admired, there's no denying that they were masters of marketing by their own right. By using fear and intimidation, creating a sense of exclusivity and building a strong reputation based on principles, the Mafia was able to build a powerful and enduring criminal empire. And while these tactics may not be appropriate or effective in the world of business, there are still valuable lessons that can be learned from their approach. Use these lessons to craft your marketing strategy in an ethical and sustainable way. Build a strong brand, create a loyal network, use exclusivity, and always be prepared for any eventuality. And if you need to fast-track all of that, consider enlisting Spreadify marketing into your family. Let Spreadify's team of experts do the dirty work for you so you can sit back, relax, and be the don of your industry.